Welcome to the Ho-Ho Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
We are broadcasting live from the Kata Studio. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. I'm all over the place on social media and a proud member of Weaponized Sloth Productions. So welcome to the Ho-Ho Show, and as always, I am your host, Ho-Ho. So welcome everybody, welcome Spreaker, welcome Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, and Facebook. Oh yeah, how y'all's doing? I hope you guys are doing well. I absolutely do. I think I've even got like the chat windows open. I know last week I had some issues with the chat when Vector, you're being a turd. I know last week I had some issues with the chat windows. They wasn't. Would you stop it? And it wasn't working out. It wasn't working at all. And I think it was because hey, the chat window is working. Hello, Mark, over there in Facebook land. Welcome, sir. Glad to see you. So, and thanks for helping me out by letting me know that thing's working. So, yeah, last week I had issues with it, and I think, I know what the problem is. So I fixed it, and apparently it's working. So everything's working. You guys chat to me. I can see you. It's awesome. Okay, I'm excited. So, yeah, good times. And also, things are up and running on WSPFM.live. WSPFM.live. You can go there, check out the stream and whatnot. It should be working. I'm assuming. I'm not 100% sure. Good morning, Nick. How y'all doing? How are you doing over there in Facebook land? Good to see you. Good to see you. All is going well on this side. I got Vector over here harassing me. So yeah, I do apologize to everybody that was chatting. In the chat rooms last week. Because, yeah, I had issues. I come to find out later that, people were talking to me and whatnot, and I didn't get any single message, which was weird, So, yeah, it happens, though. I'm sorry. It happens. So, it's been, kind of the same old going on in the news this week. You got some stuff with Cohen and with the Trump stuff, and then a couple interesting things I heard about the Caravan that's wanting to come up here, and so it's been a little interesting on that front. So I guess we should go ahead and dive on in. And if you guys want to see every article that I use on the show, you guys can go to thehohoshow.com, and crap, you can't do that right now. Dadgum, you can almost do that. You know what? I'll do that right now. I'll put that in there. It seems like I gotta always forget something. Where am I at? I don't know. I'll get it. Oh, it ain't gonna take me long either. It ain't. There it is. That's the right one. All right, I'm getting it over there. Let's play some music while I do that. Play a little bit of. There we go. Play a little bit of music. Music's always a good thing to have. Get that thing out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. I had to forget one little bitty thing. I generally have this thing up in there before the show even starts. Today, it didn't happen. Can't even tell you what this is. There we go. All right, so now, if you head on over to thehohoshow.com and you head on over to the newsfeed page, and you will see a link for the Flipboard magazine that I used in the show, and all of everything is in there. You guys can see the articles right there and read along, follow along, and I always throw some extra stuff in there because I like throwing extra stuff in there because I always see something that interests me, and I'm like, I have no idea if I want to get to that or not. So I like throwing that kind of stuff in there. I hope you guys do too. I do know that I got people that head on in there and listen to it, read it. Good grief, man. English is a first language. I tell you guys what, it's pathetic sometimes. All right, let's go ahead and dive right into some stuff. We're going to go ahead and start off with the with the Trump investigation, and there's just been, it's, I don't know, man. It's like, it's kind of irritating to me, because you've got, what happened with Hillary, okay, the email scandal. I mean, okay, let's put it this way, guys. She was guilty, okay? She admittedly did something wrong. She admittedly broke the law. She admitted to it. She had classified information that was found. I mean, this isn't a question of this isn't a question of legality, whether she did it or not. All it amounts to is, she broke the law, and her only defense was, well, I didn't know I was breaking the law. That's not a defense, guys. I mean, if you've ever been pulled over for speeding, in which case I have, your ignorance on the law does not change the validity of the ticket you are about to receive. Go ahead and try to argue that with a cop. It don't work. I've tried that in Rochester. Everybody knows that Rochester's a speed trap. Everybody knows this. Okay? So the fact that she didn't know, or okay, let me throw this back a little bit. Her claiming that she didn't know that she broke the law has no bearing on whether or not the law was broke. Okay? That being said, how long was the investigation on her? How long did they really pursue that? I mean, good grief! What the head of the FBI pretty much came out, after being on the plane. No, wait, that was something different. But came out shortly thereafter and was like, nothing to see here. We're not going to prosecute her. We're not going to bring forth whatever. They're like, there's nothing to see here. So you've got that. Whenever she blatantly broke the law. Okay, and she did. She admitted to it. This isn't a debate anymore. She admitted to it. And then you've got what's going on with Trump. 2 years, over 2 years in this investigation, and still they're digging and digging and digging and digging into what? Into what? Now it's Cohen being brought up on charges, or Cohen, or however you pronounce his name. I don't even know. Cohen, whatever. Okay. Now, this headline came out of the Daily Wire. Why don't you go ahead and take a look at that? Dershowitz says, and I have no idea if I'm pronouncing his name right. It sounds right in my head, but I have no idea if it's actually right. He says that Cohen doesn't understand the difference between wrong and illegal. Guys, I'm no lawyer. Okay, I think that's kind of obvious. I'm no lawyer. I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. And this article, it brings up a couple interesting points. Okay, one of the things that it claims is that it's not wrong, nor is it illegal. Wait, no. Let me rephrase this. Let me back the train up a little bit. It's not illegal. They have charged two. Welcome, Benedict Trump over there in Mixerland. Charged and convicted whom the people are in. And the people, huh? Got to be more specific on that. But yeah, they said that, they got him for tax evasion. With Cohen, yeah. They got him for tax evasion, which was a totally unrelated, an unrelated crime, unrelated offense. That's what they got Cohen for. it was tax evasion, and they threw a few other things in there, but it wasn't directly related to, Trump. Okay. But one of the things that they were talking about in this interview, all right, hey, Vector, go to sleep. That guy is being so noisy and rowdy right now, it's not even funny. 6 of Trump Swamp is going to jail. Well, I know Cohen is, but, again, this is an unrelated offense, though. So, and it wasn't anything to do with that. Yeah, whatever. But there's a difference between being, doing something wrong and doing something illegal. There's no law restricting how much a presidential, somebody who's running for president can spend on the campaign. And for him to use his own money for a campaign contribution, which is kind of where that falls into it, for hush money, I don't know. But that's where, I guess, in the legal purview, that's where it falls under. Again, I don't understand that. But that's not illegal. Wrong? Sure. Sleazy? Yeah. Immoral? Okay. Wrong or illegal? No. Not according to this. I don't know. Now, but here's my thing, though, too. I'm all about consistency on things. Okay, and I'm sure you guys can understand that. I like consistency. I like to see consistency. So, if you have the Democrats, okay, that are going to say that because of, well, okay, before I go there, let's rewind the tape a little bit. Let's go back to Clinton, okay? Clinton was impeached, but he was not removed of office. Why was he impeached? It wasn't because of his conduct. It wasn't because of what he did. It was because he lied about it under oath. That's why he was impeached. He wasn't removed of office because the Senate, which was Republican-controlled Senate at the time, okay, they did not remove him from office because, well, we don't see how this could affect his president, how he, his running of the government. It's like, we don't see how this can get in the way. This isn't going to impede his judgment on this. He can still effectively run the country. And that's what the argument was. And of which case, yeah, sure, sure, fine, So Trump, and that's pretty much what the argument is on this one, okay? So whether he did it or not, doesn't matter. Did he lie under oath? Did he lie under oath? And if that answer is a yes, well then, okay, so he can be impeached. However, is the Senate, are they going to push for Trump to be removed from office? Well, the Democrats didn't want to remove Clinton from office, and they would have been, kind of ticked off if they did, So, consistency, guys. That's kind of where I stand on that. Consistency. Okay? I just think it's kind of ridiculous. This stinking thing's been going on for 2 years. And I mean, come on, guys, they haven't found anything. Nothing credible. Nothing at all. You know, he's a businessman. Yes, he has business overseas. Yes, he has business in Russia. Is this illegal? No. Is this anything? No, it's not. He's a businessman. He's a businessman, you know? Well, yeah, you know, we do talk about Hillary and Obama all the time there, Benedict Trump, you know, but there's a reason for that, you know, because the Democrats are really good about forgetting what they said about something 20 minutes ago. They're horrible about it, you know. Hillary Clinton said that she wanted a border protection and the wall to be closed down. And then, you know, come time for the campaign to change and, you know, well, for her to go on the campaign and for, you know, her to hear that her base is wanting them in here, then she changes her story for political expediency. That's what she did. But people seem to ignore the fact that she said it in the first place. Now, I'm not going to, you know, condemn her for changing her mind, changing her view on something, but did she change her view because she had a life-changing event happen to her? Or did she change her view on something because it was the political thing to do? You know, there's a difference on that. You know, so yeah, we do bring her up a lot because, you know, you look at a lot of different things of what's going on in D.C. right now, you know, and it's a double standard. You know, it's a double standard. Look at, I don't even remember what her name was, CNN anchor, I believe, that, hey, Mark over there in, Spreaker land, I see you over there. He says, Mark says, first they have to actually find something to charge him with for the impeachment. And, well, you know, you're right. They do have to find him, you know, something bad at any rate, you know. Trump is out of control. You know, sir, I tell you what, man, and I don't necessarily agree with some of the stuff the guy says, but you look at his policies and his policies alone, I can't fault him for anything he's doing. In fact, I stand behind him. I don't think he's out of control. I think he's doing exactly what the people put him in there to do. Bottom line, you know. But moving on, you know. We bring that kind of stuff up for a reason because, you know, you've got the CNN reporter, you know, she said something that she shouldn't have said, you know. Well, when the gal over there on wherever she was at said something, well, they fired her. You know, there was no apology that was good enough to wipe the slate clean with what she did. And then this gal does it and, oh, apologies. Oh, okay, all is forgiven. That's fine. You can keep your job. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need to step down. You're not blacklisted. You know, you can still work. You know, double standard between Democrats and Republicans. That's the way it is. That's the way it's always been, you know, in Hollywood, in the music industry, and quite a few different other places. But there you go on that one, you know. So there you go on that one. So that is the Daily Wire. And another article that I've seen on here, and again, this goes to, you know, the ridiculousness of this whole thing. 2 years. Again, this is out of the Daily Caller. This headline says that Lindsey Graham says that he will get to the bottom of the FISA abuse as Senate Judiciary Chairman. See, again, this is why this is kind of ridiculous, because this whole thing is predicated upon a hit job. Okay, you want to talk about Russia collusion and, you know, influencing the election. You had Hillary Clinton, who paid foreign intelligence for a dossier on her running mate, on Trump. That's how this whole thing got started. The FISA, that's how the whole thing got started. Really? Double standard much? Right on, man. It's amazing how it's okay for the Democrats to do stuff like that, but Republicans do it. Ooh, we got to have a 2-year investigation on it. And the worst thing they can come up with is Stormy Daniels. Yeah. Yeah. And again, that's the Daily Caller. At least I believe that was the Daily Caller. No, I have to go back into it again. Just out of curiosity. Yep, the Daily Caller. Let you guys take a look at that. There you go. Daily Caller. Lindsey Graham. All right, moving on. Next article. Trump calls for Mueller probe to end following Manafort Cohen court filings. Again, they should. How much money have they spent? How much manpower have they spent? And how much have they actually found? Any credible anything? Because again, Cohen doesn't have anything to do with, or at least his, what he's been charged with doesn't have anything to do with Trump and the campaign. It's him. It's tax evasion. That was one of the bigger ones. And more or less, they're claiming that he did some type of a deal in order to get lesser punishment on that one. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of one of them things. We'll have to wait and see what actually comes out of it. Because the bottom line is, though, guys, and I will be honest with you on this does look bad for Trump. Okay, this does look very, very bad for Trump. It looks like, and this is the optics of the whole thing, that he may have done something wrong. It looks bad. Again, I don't really think there's anything to see here. I really don't. I mean, I think it's all smoke and mirrors. But, hey, the investigation may pull something out, Mark puts in here, this thing has been about trying to change the outcome of the election. You're absolutely right, sir. That's what this whole thing has been about, trying to change the outcome of an election. The Democrats were not happy about how the whole thing ended up. They didn't like it, didn't like it at all. So, yeah, you're right on that. Let's see here. Looking at other articles. Yeah. This article, this one's actually from MSNBC. Giuliani argues that Trump's alleged crimes were not big. Again, I would argue that, Clinton, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. It wasn't a very big crime. It was still a crime. It was still a crime. So I don't even think that type of a thing holds water. If he did it, because if the Republicans wanted Clinton removed just as bad as the Democrats want, Trump removed, well, consistency again. I fall back on consistency with that. Yeah. Moving on. Actually, I am going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when I return, we're going to talk about one of my favorite people right now, Cortez. We're going to talk about her just a little bit because she's popped up in the news again. Some stuff has come out. Something that she had said, a agenda that she has, a direction that she wants to go. Okay, so we're going to talk about that just on the other side of the break. Just a couple minutes, guys, and I will be right back. This is actually kind of entertaining because it's like, she's. I just have a feeling that she is going to be a very good source of funniness, in the coming years. I really do. Stay tuned. Be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. So, as I said before I was going to break, I want to talk about Ocasio-Cortez, because she is just a nice hilarity that, I think she's going to be a good source of entertainment for a little while. So if you guys remember, I think this was last week, might have been the week before last, that she was, she's wanting to make a run for presidency. She's 29 years of age, and of course, the Constitution of the United States of America says that you have to be in an age of at least 35 in order to run for president. And she was like, oh, well, that doesn't apply to me considering I'm a woman, and the Constitution says that a man cannot run for president unless he's 35. And I'm like, honey, that's not even accurate. The Constitution says person. It doesn't specify gender whatsoever. So, you're wrong. So and I guess she is going to, she's talking about doing it and basically forcing them to tell her that you can't, to put the Supreme Court on the spot type of a thing. That's what it sounds like. I don't know if she's actually going to end up doing it. That's just kind of what she's been saying. And this is, this could be just a case of, her running her mouth, kind of like Trump does. And, but who knows what's actually going on this one. I find it hilarious. Hilarity. Yeah. So this article, it comes from the Daily Caller, and this one came out not that long ago. Where's it at? The 13th, actually. So what she is looking at doing, and this again, this is pretty vague. Okay, but Al Gore, she came out, former Vice President Al Gore. He was talking about her environmental ideas, and he was like, I like them, but they're very vague. We don't know what's in it. We don't know what's going on. It's kind of hard to back something. At least I would think that it would be kind of hard to back something that you don't know what's going on. You don't know what's in it. I know the Democrats have done that in the past, kind of bit them in the butt in the past too, but that's what they did. And it looks like they might actually end up doing it again. And her claim is that if she gets her way in this environmental, this environmental direction that she's wanting to go, that it will create a lot of jobs all over the place, even globally. Now, that sounds good and all, but, I'm kind of reminded about, Obama's shovel-ready jobs that he, later had to, well, them jobs weren't so shovel-ready, were they? So I'm kind of leery on that one, but I want to learn more. I want to find out what's going on. And maybe this is just because, give it to her. Give what to her? The presidency to her? I don't think so. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, that cracks me up though. But yeah, let's see what's in it. Let's find out. The vagueness in there, and who knows, maybe we won't, ever find out what she's actually intending on doing, but who knows? Who knows? All right, moving on. Let's see here. I had a couple other things in here. Didn't really have a big show planned out for today. Oh, yeah. This one actually cracks me up, guys. It's like, all right, so this whole information about, here's what the allegation was. The National Enquirer said that, President Trump had, with the whole paying off of different people, and there was, several in there that was named, that is what Trump did, or at least what he told his attorney to do, Cohen to do, was give the National Enquirer a bunch of money to find these stories that were, against him, buy the rights to it, and squash the stories. That's what they're saying happened. Since when did the National Enquirer become a reputable news source? I mean, if you want pictures of Bigfoot, if you want to see, find out about the last Elvis sighting. If you want to, get some good UFO pictures and, a picture of Bat Boy Baby, whatever the heck that thing is, and that's where you go, the National Enquirer. So again, when did the National Enquirer become this reputable news source? Why would he even go to the National Enquirer? That cracked me up. I mean, do you guys have any idea on that one? Shank the Dinosaur. What are you talking about? Strange individuals. So anyway, yeah. Since when did the National Enquirer become a reputable news source? That's what I'm kind of curious about. We're moving a different direction. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we're not. No, we're not. Not yet, anyway. This headline comes from the Examiner. It comes from the Examiner. The headline is, Pelosi tells the media to cool it with the Trump allegations. Turn it down a degree, maybe even 5. Which kind of cracks me up. But here's why. What the Democrats are used to doing is just throwing an allegation out there, throwing some phrase out there. Oh, you're racist. You're a homophobe. You're, a xenophobe. You're a whatever the phobia is. And just throwing it out there. And for the most part, Republicans just shut down. That's what they do. They don't fight back. They duck, cover, run for the corner and cry and hang their head low. And there you go. And that's about the extent of it. That's what we've been doing. The political class. That's what they've been doing for quite some time. But with President Donald Trump, we have somebody whom is willing and able to fight back, and he does it effectively. He does it effectively. I was impressed, in a matter of speaking, whenever he had that, what they wanted to be a closed-door session talking about, border funding, and President Trump was like, no, this thing's getting televised. It's getting broadcast live. And they were ticked about it because they did not want this to be a live session. They did not want this to go out there because they wanted to have this closed-door meeting just between them and Donald Trump. And President was not having it. He's like, no, we're doing this thing. If you guys want to have this conversation, we're going to do it in front of the nation. This is not going to be a closed-door meeting, nothing of the kind, because you guys aren't going to leave this office and talk a bunch of shit about me. That's what it amounted to, But, of course, even still, that's what they ended up doing in the first place. They got out of the office, half hour after the fact, standing in front of the cameras and were just bad-mouthing the whole entire meeting. I kind of found the hilarity in that. So you have a president now that he's just not going to take it. He's not going to take it bending down. He's not going to take it at all. He's going to fight back. He's going to put up his dukes. And, the Democrats don't like it. They can't control him at all. And I've said this before. I'll say it again. I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I didn't vote for him at all. I looked at him as simply put, I looked at him as a New York Republican, which is the same as a Democrat. It's the same as a Democrat. It's the same thing. Okay, that's what I've seen him as. He had ties to the Clintons. So it's like, okay, so you've got voting for Hillary, you get Hillary. You vote for Trump, you got Hillary by proxy. And I'm like, no, I'm not even going to do that. I'm not putting my vote behind him, so I didn't vote for him at all. Now you've got, he's putting his policies out there. He's accomplished quite a bit in a short amount of time, still not even having his own, a fully functioning, White House, still doesn't have his entire, cabinet, still, 2 years after the fact, still don't have it. He's accomplished quite a bit in a short amount of time. He's done put near everything he can unilaterally. Everything that he can do unilaterally, he did it. Everything, he did it. And they're afraid of him because they can't control him. But my suspicion was that if the Democrats didn't, right out of the gate, just start attacking Trump, they probably would have found maybe not quite an ally, but definitely not an enemy. Somebody that he would have worked with, or somebody that could work with them. I'm sure they would have had that hands down. There's no doubt in my mind that that's what they would have gotten if they would have left the man alone. If they just would have, it's like, what, do you not know Trump? Have you not ever met the man? Have you not ever seen, The Apprentice? Have you not seen any of that? You don't know how Trump is, and you're going to attack him? You're going to attack him politically and personally? That's what you get, So they got a president that's willing to fight back. He is willing to use, mainstream media and just play him like a fiddle any way he wants to. I truly feel that if they would have just left him alone, he would have played ball with them. They might not have been able to control him per se, but definitely had a much easier job at guiding him and, kind of putting him in the path that they want him to be on. But they chose to play the game a little different. Now they've got this. You made your bed, now sleep in it. That's what they got now. It's definitely what they got now. So the headline was, Pelosi tells the media to cool it down with the Trump allegations. Simple fact is they're afraid of him. He flat out said that this is what I want. And if you guys fail to deliver, then I am not afraid to shut the government down, and it will be your fault. And he was the first one, he's not even going into this, going to even allow them the opportunity to say it's your fault, and then for him to rebut on that. Oh no, he flat came out of the gate. Oh no, this is what I want. If you guys don't deliver, I'm shutting it down, and it's your fault. He's the first one to act, the first one to speak, something that the Republicans hasn't had in quite a while. I find that kind of nice. It's about stinking time that we have a president willing to fight back. On other news, now this is an actor. We're switching directions here. We're going a different way, totally different way, and just about actually done with the show. Cool. I've only got a couple things to throw in here, or was it one thing to throw in here? I ain't going to do that one. Okay, so one other thing to throw in here. This is an actor whom I have, it's almost one of them things, the more I hear about him, the more I kind of like, I like this guy, So this article came from the Epic Times. Yeah, the Epic Times. Hollywood star Keanu Reeves secretly finances children's hospitals. I'm like, wow. And I tell you what, guys, there's been some things that I've read up on him and, just how he lives, how much money he's donated to, people, to, the cast and the crew of the people that were involved in the Matrix trilogy. I mean, a lot of money that he gave to them. I mean, he lives a very, for Hollywood, he lives a very modest life, and I wasn't surprised to hear this kind of thing come from Keanu Reeves. I really wasn't, and not that long ago. And I really wish I actually remembered a little bit more about this, but Tyler Perry, he did something pretty awesome not that long ago, like maybe a week or two ago. And it was amazing to me because you had, most people know who Tyler Perry is. Most people know who he is. Most people know his religious, views. Most of them know his political views. Most people know who he is, and he did something, backed something, supported something. I don't remember. It's been too long since I actually read the article. And Kid Rock, now again, he's somebody whom I wasn't surprised that he did it. What kind of surprised me and impressed me was that he acknowledged, Tyler Perry as, this is whom I got the idea from. He's like, Tyler Perry, it's great what you're doing, and I'm going to follow your lead. And I was actually kind of impressed by that because, here you have in Hollywood, guys, it's, conservatives, Republicans are very much shunned in Hollywood, in the music industry, Silicon Valley, the whole 9 yards. This is not a conservative-friendly place to be in at all. Hollywood, just any of it, not a good place to be. So for him, and with his religious views as well, with him going out there like that, it's like, wow, that's actually kind of cool. I mean, I wasn't surprised that Kid Rock had that type of, outlook on it, that he supported what it was that he was supporting. What impressed me was, he lined up and acknowledged Tyler Perry. It's like, that's pretty cool. I mean, this isn't Ted Nugent standing behind him on this. I mean, everybody knows, where Ted Nugent falls in the political scope of things, but, it's like Kid Rock isn't quite as open. Wait, no. He's changed a lot too. He really has. He's had some stuff happen to his life, and he's definitely, he's changed a lot. His views, how he lives his life, is very, very awesome. He's another artist that I definitely have a lot of respect for, along with, Keanu Reeves, Tyler Perry. He's awesome. Everybody loves Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's awesome. Oh, yeah. Tyler Perry is awesome. So, guys, Monday's show, the movie review. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do that one on Monday because a customer had an emergency, so I have to end up leaving on Monday. So I will not be even in the country come Monday night. Time for the show. Time for showtime. I ain't going to be here. So I've been tossing back whether I'm going to just do it Sunday or if I'm just going to skip the whole thing and, postpone that show until whenever we get around to it, which I have absolutely no idea when that's going to be. I've been looking on the schedule for it, and it's like, holy crap, it's going to be a while before we get back around to doing this show. So don't even know if it's going to end up happening. If it does, it'll happen tomorrow. I got to check in with the co-host of it, get some more information on that. So, guys, I thank you very much for tuning in. Short show, but that's all right. We have those from time to time. So you guys have yourself a wonderful evening, and I will talk to y'all next week.